on here because last night I was called out to do a remote view, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to talk you through all this, because it was hugely emotional on the most unbelievable experience that you could ever imagine. So I had a day yesterday was, it was amazing. Anybody honestly would have thought I was high on something. I danced, I just played up and was just so happy. It was incredible. It was so much fun. So anyway, last night, sitting down, watching TV, and then I said to my husband, I'm getting called out, it's really, really strong. So he turned the TV off and I just put this music on that I'm playing. So I just thought it was fit to put it on now. And then within seconds I was out there, and I can start feeling it already. So all of a sudden, I felt this incredible peace. And it was overwhelming, and I took a few minutes to take all the energy through. And then I just saw this incredible amount of angels come my way. And it was like they were waiting for me, which, fits the bill. And then while I was adjusting myself to all this beauty, these two beautiful, magnificent souls started walking towards me. So I looked and I recognized them straight away, and my brain was going, is this real? Have I made this up? What's happening here? But it felt so right. And so I just went with the whole experience. And the two women, one was Di and Melania, and they both, their higher selves, walked towards me. And I was really taken back on, my goodness, what are they doing here? And they came right up to me, and I was really hesitant, because I'm thinking, I can't make this up. I can't make what I'm seeing and who they are standing in front of me. So I just sat there. Well, I was actually standing out there. And then they said, it's your time, come on. And both of them reached out for one of my hands. And just that contact alone was unbelievable. And so I felt it within my heart to go with them. So I did. And honest, while I was walking with them, I was experiencing so much love that I have never, ever experienced. There's times that I've gone out there and just felt the angels, just felt the universal energy of love of God, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. This time was completely different. It was undescribable. So they took me through, and I honestly felt like I was on a precipice, and I stood there, and they just held my hand, because all this emotion came from here, and I was letting it go, because the emotion of being involved, been in the space. There's no English word to describe what I was feeling, but I think just even me expressing it for you, you can hear it in my voice and you can feel it from my heart. So they stood with me while I was going through this experience. What was also happening, because I knew where I was. My whole being knew where I was. It's happy tears, it's not sad tears, please. And I will still keep trying to bring this through for you, because this is what you're all going to experience. What I noticed was so much of my life, restrictions, lack of confidence, my family, some family members, friends that have gone against my gift and really pushed me away. I was letting go of that. Just so much that you go through in your life to where you are now. It was literally just leaving my body. But I recognized every person, I recognized every situation, and it was getting recalled and played through while it was just it was like somebody had a shower. And the beautiful cleansing of this energy was just going through my whole mind, body, and soul. And it was just falling away from me. But while I was going through that, you imagine all those emotions that you were going through, well, I was going through, was so overwhelming. But they were reassuring me that the more I let go of the restrictions that I've had on my life, the lighter I was going to become. And the more joy that I would experience. And it was incredible, because the more I was letting go, the lighter I was becoming. And when I was acknowledging that emotion that was leaving my body, I could see it was getting replaced with just the most incredible love energy in my heart. And I sent love out to all those people, because they too they've come into my life for me to teach them, and they to teach me of something within. But now I recognize I don't need to carry those burdens and those restrictions anymore. And what was really incredible for me is they said, stand in your sovereignty, stand in your space and become who you need to become, because these people you've allowed to hold you back, and you don't need to be held back. When I acknowledged that, I looked around me and I looked at the vastness of the space. It was incredible, and I was absorbing so much more energy within inside myself, and just knowing that this energy that I was replacing of the negative, I was replacing it with pure intense love. And that in itself was absolutely incredible. While I was going through this experience, I was, it was just a movie going through, but they held my hand because they could see just how emotional I became. And then they said, come and have a look, because I then stepped more into this incredible energy. I keep saying it, but it was. And I stepped closer. And I stood there in absolute awe. I could not even comprehend the space. There was no limit to space. I've traveled the world many, many times. And when you leave New Zealand and you travel around the world, you're coping with the expanse of space. This is beyond. It was infinite. There was no limitations to even the emotions that I was feeling. And I stood there and I was looking around and I was looking at everybody. They were all doing their own thing, but what I'm recalling back here is that it wasn't just Earth that I was on. I was looking at the different planets that you could then go towards, because there's no restrictions. We restrict ourselves, they were saying, from the limitations and the programming that we have been brought up to believe. This is all you can believe. So our parents to their parents, it's what they learn, and they've brought it down in generations to generations. So we only know this world. But when you're on top of the world and you look out, you can imagine, or you can't imagine until you experience it, but you can imagine from what I'm actually saying. So then I was looking and they were acknowledged, and I was asking them, is this our new world that, we're merging into the fifth dimension? So when I was looking around, they were saying there is no ruling, there is no prejudice, there is no restrictions. Your thought patterns are what you create. So if you stay in that stuck energy that most people here on Earth, on this planet, they live for being negative. They don't even know. They keep going over and over and over and again. So they're manifesting. So it's so important right now is to manifest what you want. Because when you can put out the energy that you wish to step into and create, it's all there, because everything is a thought pattern. And I stood there and I was just trying to absorb everything. And I looked around and there was no massive big buildings. And I said, where are all the buildings? And I said, that's just it. Your world that you live in is all to do with money and restrictions. You have all been made to work every day, pretty much, on an enslavement. But people now have money, so they are able to achieve their dreams because there's no limitations whatsoever. And they're not needing the buildings, because the buildings represent the enslavement that we've been in to create the money to work. And because of the different organizations, corporations that have created these buildings, is to actually make the money for them, not us. And that wasn't there. I'm even feeling it again in here in my heart. And I looked and I was looking at everybody thinking, they're not even working. They're working with what they want to be working with. But it wasn't a restriction on a 9 to 5. It wasn't on how much money you were going to earn, because you could feel there was money. You could feel it was just all about energy and pure love. I was also looking, was there anyone negative around here? And there wasn't. Then they got me to turn around to look back at my life. And that's when it hit me. when I turned around, I looked back and I was so blown away that they showed me, that we live like in a glass jar and it's screwed tight. We live in this illusion that has been made for us. And then the people that have created this for us were on the outer side, and they were looking in on our lives, which you can definitely say that's our computers, our phones. They knew everything about us. I burst out crying. Just even now, we have been lied to. We have not had the ability to know, because what we didn't know. I'm crying happy tears because we're nearly there. Because the ones that have been standing true to themselves can feel it within. You know you have been called for so long because you know there's more. There is so much more. Oh, excuse me. They showed me, with us being trapped in this jar, I then asked, how am I outside the jar? They said, you didn't need to worry about that. Look back at what life is. So they role played and they showed me of different people's lives and the torture and the horror so many on this planet have gone through. So I cried on a collective energy. So I was releasing so much for so many people. It wasn't just my tears for myself, it was for the collective. I was so overwhelmed by the full impact that I was a channel to help. Because I know we're literally there. So I asked to help in such a way to release and to help people to start recognizing from today on, if they haven't been awoken, to there's so much more within themselves. Whew, I'm sorry I knew this video was going to be hard because, the emotion that I went through was unbelievable. And I can definitely say the only other time I felt that emotion when my brother was killed in a car accident. So I felt that emotion, but this was tenfold because I did it for the collective. And so then when I felt that I had sent so much cleansing and clearing to help awaken so many souls right now, but also to give so much love to the ones that are awake. Because honestly, it's incredible where you're going to step into. And so then when I had completed that, I then turned around, they shifted me into the just incredible energy. So honestly, it felt like I wasn't standing. I was lifted up in this space, and I had so much cleansing and clearing energy that came through, and that in itself was, incredible. So from there, while I was going through all this cleansing and letting go for the collective, I heard them say, it's now time. We're going to show you more. We're going to take you to show you more. I could see that there was a seat they had set aside for me. And I can't even tell you what I was going to step into, but it was not of this technology that we know of. And they said, it's your time now to start learning where we're moving into. And I said to them, I'm still trying to cope with all this emotion in my heart. And I just keep saying to them, just a minute, I just need to compose myself. While I was receiving the healing, I then started crying happy tears. So from one extreme to the other, it was pouring out because I couldn't get over the sense of this space, this pure love. It was intensified. So from going from one extreme to, one bang and coming back, my whole being was electrified. It was euphoric, and I just was struggling with trying to understand and cope with it. So they keep showing me my seat, and they said, when you're ready, you can go into the seat and we'll take you further and we'll show you more. And by now, I'm like hyperventilating. You know, when you get so wound up and when you cry and you're like this, I couldn't control it. I was trying to deep breathe. My husband was sitting in the lounge wondering what the hell I was going through. And then for a minute there, I just thought, I can't go any further just now because I need to go through and experience and just feel the feels that I was going through then. So I said to them, would it be okay that I come back out another day? Because I said, if you give me any more, I feel like I'm going to explode. And they just gave me a hug and they said, that's perfectly okay. Your seat is always here. So I thanked them, and I did. I had to step back into myself because I had to process all my emotions that had gone through, because it was overwhelming for me. And I said to them, I want to be on top form so I can experience it, go through it, and then be able to relay it, because I would have been a blubbery mess. Absolutely. There is no way I would have been able to bring that through. I would have been laughing. Well, I'm doing it now. I've been laughing and crying, and now I'm back up. So I'm going to leave this with you. I'm just going to have a quick check. I just wrote a few bits and pieces down. Also, just jumping back, there are definitely some false truthers, and they showed themselves, and they will be showing themselves to you very soon if they haven't already. Because they're the ones that are keeping the narrative going. So yeah, the best thing I can say to you right now is go within yourself to heal. Make it a priority. Do not go, oh, I've got too much work on, I can't do it, I just don't have time. Too bad. This is far more important. And focus on you now, because honestly, when you experience what I've gone through, you will kick yourself that you did not prepare your body, your mind, body, and soul. So if I was overwhelmed, and I'm used to this type of thing, yeah, that's a taste. And I already was at the front door, so imagine when I walk through it completely. So project out what you want. Really write a list today. What are you wanting? Where are you wanting to go? And really focus and channel yourself through. Because, God damn it, this 3D world is collapsing. When I looked and I went through all that emotion, when I was looking back, it was literally collapsing. And I was watching the ones that are holding the narrative. So the more I can help to lift and change you up and get into this most unbelievable, unlimited experience that you are going to go through and your family, and the ones that it's solely only there for the ones that believe in themselves, that they're wanting more. The ones that can't see anything wrong with the way they're living, good on you. There's no right, there's no wrong. Your inner calling will be calling you. And that's all I can say. The technology, I can sense there is massive technology. If you think that what we've got, honestly, this is like caveman style that we're living in. The technology is mind-blowing. I didn't even get to see it, but I could feel it. Wow, it's mind-blowing. It's going to be mind-blowing. Money, oh my gosh, money. It's about to be sent. It's gonna, honestly, it's gonna flow through very shortly to everybody. There's no one that is left behind on that. But where I stepped further in, it wasn't about money. Money means nothing out there. So I'll leave you with that one. And I can definitely say there was no negativity. There was no restrictions on people's minds that are out there. Our 3D world, we're limited by people's beliefs, limited by, very stubborn, narcissistic corruption that doesn't even exist because they cannot get up into these frequencies. So you can imagine none, not one, none. And I'll finish off with also when I stood there and said thank you, I just, while I was blubbering away, they knew I was crying happy tears. And then I had this real strong sense to look further over, and I looked over and there was Trump. The size of the energy of that man, there is no words. My whole mind, body and soul totally resonated to him. And I knew then that we are all going to be okay. So I'm about to go and put on my old clothes. I'm going to go and have a smashing time now. I am dismantling a massive commercial greenhouse because I'm creating a retreat and bringing through all this energy. So that's why I said I'm going to have a smashing good time, because I'm smashing glass. All right, guys, love you all. And I send you so much love, and have an amazing day, and be kind to yourself while you're going through this transition.